Hi, in this video we'll learn about Application Program Interface or API and libraries. Let's do a quick review of some of the major structural pieces of a program in Java. A Java program is made up of one or more classes. A class is a section of a program that groups together related data and actions. It organizes code by defining attributes, pieces of information like a name or age that are stored in variables, and methods, actions or behaviors that can be performed, such as displaying a message or performing a calculation. One of these classes we refer to is the main class because it has the main method in it, which is like the conductor of the program, controlling the overall flow of the program. You can use many classes as blueprints to create objects, sending over its same attributes and behaviors, where they can be customized with their own values. You'll be doing a lot of this later on in the course, but let's look at one example of a class that you have already worked a lot with, the string class. Whenever you created a string variable, like this one here, you may not have realized it, but you are actually using the string class to create a string object. The class is the construction blueprint for the object. The string class contains attributes, like the characters in the string and the length of the string, and many methods that can perform actions on the methods, contains, equals, and replace, which can all perform specific actions related to its characters. Thankfully, you don't need to create the string class from scratch whenever you want to have string variables. This is where Java libraries and packages come in. Let's consider an analogy. Have you ever made pasta for dinner? Or maybe watched someone else make pasta? If so, the instructions probably didn't look like this. Most people start with pre-made pasta and cut out all the steps 1 through 5. The pre-made pasta is created by someone else and you can use it to shorten the creation time for your pasta dinner. Well, programming is similar. As programmers, you can create everything from scratch, but you can also use code that others created, like the pre-made pasta, in order to simplify your work and shorten your development time. These pre-made pieces of code are available in Java libraries and packages. Just like physical libraries are collections of pre-written books that we can read and use for our own purposes, Java libraries are collections of pre-written code you can use to create your own programs. More specifically, Java libraries are collections of packages, which are collections of related classes grouped together to organize the code logically. For example, within the Java Standard Library, you have a package called java.lang, which includes classes like string, math, system, and runtime. These are fundamental classes that are automatically imported into every Java program. There's also the java.util package, which include classes like scanner, which you've used before, random, ArrayList, and hashmap. And remember, each individual class has its own attributes and methods that you'll be able to use when you import that package, or that particular class into your program. As mentioned before, by importing a pre-made class into your program, you don't have to create it from scratch every time you need that functionality. As another example, in a previous lesson, you imported the scanner class in order to create a new scanner object, and then use that object to collect an input from a user. As you can imagine, programmers need clear guidance on how to use these libraries, packages, and classes. To address this, maintainers of libraries create what's called an Application Programming Interface, or API, and API documentation. An API is the set of tools, the classes and methods, that a library makes available for you to use. To learn how to use those tools, programmers read the API documentation, which explains what each method does and how to use it effectively. So the API is the toolbox, and the documentation is its instruction manual. You can use classes and their methods by reading the API documentation associated with the class. This documentation provides you with an understanding of the methods that you might use. Oracle's Java API is the official source for how to use the core Java libraries. As a programmer, knowing to use documentation effectively will dramatically improve what you will be able to do. Now it's your turn to put APIs and libraries into practice.